Okay. Showing up on my side.
I think we're recording.
Nice. And we both have sunshine flowing into the room.
We do. You could like pretend like you're here on an island.
Yeah.
Where it's
After,
85 degrees.
even though it was just a raging snowstorm this morning.
No, you can't pretend. You
Yeah.
can't pretend that.
But
But the
now
sun
it's
is
sunny.
nice.
It is nice. It's sunny now.
Your air is cleaner. I feel like when it's
That
cold
is true.
outside and the sun is shining, it just feels so good. And the breath, the
Crisp.
inhales are the best inhales you'll ever take.
Yeah. Well, welcome to SheKings. This is our ninth episode. Am I keeping them right? Yeah, ninth episode.
Absolutely.
And SheKings are for those peasants who don't want to live shitty lives. So welcome.
Welcome. Happy to have you.
I was watching the last video that we did. Well, really all the videos and how I'm half like shaded. I feel like one of those, on the news where they shade people out that don't want to be noticed, like their identity. Seriously, that's what I look like. So this is me, full sun.
Full sun.
Yeah.
You're gorgeous. I get so much feedback on how pretty you are, which I'm like, and so what am I? You know what I mean? Okay. Like,
Well,
here, I'm also in those videos. But no, but speaking of pretty, we are in the process of expanding SheKings, and we have some like really fun ideas. So we cannot wait to share them with you.
yes.
And one of them is going to be about how we stay so pretty,
how we don't age. Absolutely.
It's just, how do we do it? It's crazy.
And we want to share those with you. Our secrets, our magic that we do.
Will be much shorter little videos and such. And so you guys will hear all about our tricks and our yogas and our meditations, and we will take you guys through it. And it's going to be so fun. And we're so excited to be doing that because we talk about a lot of stuff, but we're going to help you actually start to apply it. So it's going to be like a whole thing.
Whole lifestyle thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So today we are talking about advocating for yourself, which even though as similar as Eric and I are, I believe it's one of our biggest differences. Yeah. So advocating for yourself. So Erica, share with us, like, what is your perception on advocating or your belief? What is it for you?
So I think advocating for yourself is about speaking, about saying what it is, exactly what is on your mind, right? And so we talked about this a little bit in our Speaking Clearly episode, but I think let's get into it today. So a lot of times people have something that they want to happen, or something that they believe is right in any given situation, or something that they believe is wrong in any given situation, and they don't share it with the person or people who it's actually relevant to. Instead, they get home and they complain to whomever will listen. And it's completely insane. Or they stay in the situation and they don't say exactly what it is that is frustrating them. And then they're angry with the people for not understanding what it is that they want in that given situation. So I think advocating for yourself is about stating very clearly what it is you would like to see happen in a situation.
Right. The big thing for me is the separation of advocating for yourself, but having no expectations. So I think that's where people kind of get messed up on is I'm sharing what I want. I'm sticking up for myself. I'm standing up for my beliefs, whatever it is, but letting go of an expectation that you have of other people, of the situation. It has nothing to do with that. So, man, advocating for yourself. Yeah, I think, well, speaking for myself, I feel really comfortable in doing it when I know the outcome, or I'm very secure in the outcome. Either way it goes. But if I don't feel good about the situation, then and I create a story in my head about how it's going to end or how is that person going to feel, whatever it is, then I struggle with advocating for myself.
So that's one of the big issues. And I'm so happy that you brought it up. One of the big things that I see is that people, they know what they want,
Mm-hmm.
and they are afraid that they're not going to get that thing, or they're afraid that they're going to hurt somebody's feelings. And so they spend days, weeks, months. I know a human being who spent over a year in a work situation that she needed to speak up about. She needed to say something. And she was so afraid of getting an outcome that she wasn't going to like. So not getting, her bonus or whatever it was that she was looking for, that she just kind of let it hang out there.
Yeah.
And her energy just went down, and she started to feel very demoralized. And I just watched it over a year. And, the whole time I'm just saying, go in there, speak to your boss, and just say what you need to say. But she was so afraid that her boss was going to be like, no, and it was going to get to a lot of times your worthiness, which we talked a lot about. So this person is going to tell me that I'm not worthy, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not deserving, even though I feel that I am, even though I'm doing the work. And so she was so attached to not having the conversation or just sharing from a place of honesty. This is what we agreed on. This is what I want. She was so attached to this person validating her and telling her that she was worth it, and telling her, hey, I'm going to do the right thing, that she carried inside of her such negative energy, and it eats away at you. And so whether it's a work situation or a home situation, when you're attached to outcome and you want it to end up a certain way, there's no guarantee. That's the part that that it's not promised. But what I saw is that when she finally had the conversation, her energy, she didn't get a promise of what she wanted. And in the end, I don't think she even got it at all. But when she had the conversation, I saw her energy skyrocket. Skyrocket, because she finally got it off of her chest. And so to our listeners, advocating for yourself means stating exactly what it is that you need. So she had that conversation. Hey, this is what we agreed upon. This is what I was expecting. I'm really surprised that that didn't work out. I would like to see this change. I would like for you to give me my bonus, give me my time off, give me, whatever. Right. And that's it. Like, your part is done. And then with that, on the other side of that comes so much fucking clarity. Because now, right? You go to your husband or to your wife and you say, hey, I'm going to need you to do this fucking thing right here. And that person says, no, I'm not going to do it. Then you know today, well, this shit isn't working for me, right? This situation right here doesn't. And then you can make an informed decision. So it's not that you're getting what you want, it's that you're clearing out whatever it is that you're holding on to. And then with all of the information that you need, taking control of your life. You have full control to go and do whatever the fuck you want to do. But so many people stay hiding, and they stay just measuring and weighing and thinking, what will happen if I have this conversation? Will I get what I want? Will they say what I think they should say? Will they agree?
Yeah.
And they just stay in darkness.
Right. So fear fuels the lack of advocating for yourself. And it can be something simple. So the other morning I was in yoga, and I've never experienced this. So over all the years taking yoga, teaching yoga, and Savasana, the teacher said, raise your hand if you want an extra blanket, a block, or a sandbag to put across your hips for pressure. I've never heard of that. And in my mind, I was like, yes, please. But for me to, because it was super quiet, for me to say anything or to raise my hand, I was just like, don't do it.
Really?
I really. And so I thought I spent my whole Shavasana thinking about the sandbag.
Oh gosh, Allie. Allie,
I know, when
what
I
the
could have
heck?
fucking had the sandbag. So it's
But
like,
that's exactly it. Like
it
that
is
literally is.
like I wanted the sandbag, but then it was the stories like, oh, he's not by me anymore. So then I would have to like call out to him. Then it would be too noisy. And then like just
Yes.
constantly. And so no, I
Yes.
spent Shavasana thinking about that fucking sandbag.
Oh my
However, I'm going
gosh.
to class tomorrow and I will request the sandbag. You know what?
I
I'll
want you
take
to wait
the
till the last minute and then be like, wait a minute. Come back over here to the side. Come down here. I want to bring a sandbag with you. Just bring all the stuff. Bring all the stuff. Bring all the be that person.
and right when I said that, I'm just like, no, get the sandbag at the beginning of class and put it by your mat.
You can put the sandbag on your own hips.
I
You
can.
don't
Yeah.
ask anybody for anything. But I just want everybody to know and acknowledge that I see Allie's crazy. I hope that you guys see Allie's crazy, but more important, I hope you see yourself in her, like seriously, because that's such a great example of, can you imagine like going over how you should have asked for that sandbag
Oh
for
yeah.
a year, for a
Oh
year,
yeah.
a
Craziness.
full year. Yes.
And I find myself when I get a massage and I want it to be heavier or harder, like I won't say anything. I'll just be like, it is what it is. It's totally fine. Like today I did some Rolfing and yeah, he's a talker. And so it's like he takes breaks and talks to me and I just want like a full hour of just session, like let's just deal
Hey,
with the pain.
I'm gonna have to interrupt Allie here. Allie, you tell me how much that fucking roofing costs. If you don't tell him to shut the fuck up and roll, like I don't, guys, it's expensive. I was like, well, listen, I would love to do that, and
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, sir, no talk. We can talk all you want on your time.
Right.
Okay.
or while you're working on me. So it's funny. So this is where my so teaching what I teach is finding that balance is everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to happen, right? If it was supposed to be different, then it would be different. So accepting it in that moment. And then for me, that is just my place of comfort. It's like, I don't fight against it. It just is. And it's beautiful. But for me, like speaking up can also be, no, I'm speaking up because I want this experience. I want this to be now coming in, not different, but now coming in this moment so I can have this experience. So finding that balance of in this moment, it's happening exactly how it's supposed to happen. And then now there's a new moment and not letting the moment just keep going where I have no sandbag on my hips.
Right.
But now I do, right? And in order to get them, then it's like, can I get that sandbag, sir?
Yeah.
On my
I
hips.
think that we get a little bit, especially spiritually oriented people or people who are just super kind. We get into that space of just go with the flow. Everything's okay. Hey guys, fuck that. Okay. It's a no for me. And let me tell you, why. Because in that space, yes, this is exactly as it should be. But the universe is also presenting us with opportunities to move past certain experiences that we keep inviting into our lives. And so when you find yourself, because sometimes it is just okay, it's like, it's all good. And you're not going to think about it. You're just like, oh, fuck it. No sandbags, okay. But if you have the feeling and we're being led toward that desire, there's something that comes in and through us and says, hey, wouldn't this be nice? I just prefer it. And if it's not possible, it's not possible, but I just prefer it. And then you are absolutely allowed to speak up and ask for exactly what it is that you want. Otherwise, you're going to keep finding yourselves in situations where everything is almost wonderful. It's almost perfect. It's almost what you need it to be.
Yeah.
I want to detour a little bit if you don't have anything more to say about that.
No, I will do my sandbag. I promise.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
I'll
need you. I
advocate
need
for
you to do
myself.
So one thing that gets in the way of me advocating, or it used to actually get in the way of me advocating for myself, is that I had rage disorder. We used to call it. And so I would say if I say anything, I'm going to say everything. If I get started on this, I'm going to lose my fucking mind, and I'm going to say some fully inappropriate stuff. And I
Which
remember
I
being
love.
in law school. It's so crazy. Just I
I
like
love witnessing it. I'm all, here we go.
but but now I have it under control. You know what I mean? So like I know I'm being ridiculous. I know I'm being over the top, and it makes me laugh. Like whatever, I can deal with it. And I try to be respectful, right? So I remember being in law school, and that was at a point where I was like, Erica, you advocate a little bit too hard. You go a little too far. And so yeah, to you people. But I wanted a book, and in law school, only a certain number of people can get A's, B's, C's, D's, F's, right? So everybody has to get, a grade, and there's only a limited number of grades. So you can do really, really well and still get a B because there were only 7 A's. And the difference between the seventh A and the eighth B is so minuscule. And so people would be really, really shady, and they would like take books and hide them like things that you needed. So shady. And so there's this book that I needed, and it was like one of 3 or one of 1. I don't remember what it was. And I went to the library, and I was really trying to like work on like advocating for myself in a non-aggressive way. And you can only keep for like an hour or something like that, and then you needed to bring it back, and the librarian was supposed to stay on top of this book coming back. And so I went and asked for the book, and she said it's out now. And I said, okay, when is it due back? And she said da, 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 da. And I said okay. And then I went again and again, and like the third time, fourth time, I was like that right there, that silence. I just stared at her, and like the I think that like actual fire from hell came up into my eyes. And that woman was like, okay, let me figure out. Maybe we have a phone number for the person. I will get that book for you. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for reading my eyes, because I will take you out today. And so advocating for yourself, just want to be clear about this. It's not, it doesn't have to be crazy, right? Like, because I feel like when you start to get in the mode of advocating for yourself, you can start to be a little bit aggressive, because all of the frustration of years of not advocating for yourself is like coming out in this moment.
Yeah. It's
start slow.
It's easier for me to advocate for other people. Like I am on it. I'm on, like my daughters, I will just be like, what? Like, what happened? Do you want me to talk to them? Like, what's going on? Yeah. Than to show up and advocate for myself. Cause it's just like, yeah, it's totally fine. Like I'm good. But if my daughters or son told me something, I was just like, oh, I'm about to handle this. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, I got it. Come here. Come here right now.
And they're like, no, it's okay. We got it. It's like, are you sure? I mean, I'm already planning my grandkids, advocating for my grandkids. Like when they get into school, and I'm just like, don't anybody say anything to them. Like, don't talk shit to them. Don't be mean to them. I will show up there and it'll be a show. Yeah. I'm all totally okay with that. Yeah. But with myself. So I think it's beneficial for the homework to have the listeners, you guys write down like where can you advocate for yourself, and where do you think that you are kind of going to the extreme, right? Like that you can let things go, because when you keep feeding the same thing over and over again, it's going to keep showing up. So where can you just like see it to be like, no, this is happening because obviously it's supposed to. And then in places, it could be small or little, it doesn't matter. It's still bringing up that feeling of I'm advocating for myself, I'm using my voice. Where can I start advocating to myself and kind of sit with it and see the difference or even feel the difference? Like what feels good for me to speak up?
Mhm.
Um,
I love that.
what is my yes, right? What is my yes
Yeah.
in this situation? And then how can I continue to honor it? And so I would think that would be beneficial for the homework on advocating for yourself. Yeah. What do you need to call in and what shit do you need to let go? Like, what are you raging against?
I love that. So it'll be essentially a list of things that you could be advocating for yourself, and then
Yeah.
a line down the middle saying, should I or shouldn't I? Like, is this something I need to let go, or is this something I need to actually like schedule the conversation and
Yeah.
schedule it? Beautiful humans. There's
Right.
someone you need to talk to. Say, hey, let's sit down for lunch tomorrow at X time, or I'm gonna pop by your office and at da 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 time. But get it scheduled and write down, write down some notes so that you don't go in there and start yelling or crying or any of the extremes. Just I say to people when you need to advocate for yourself, if you can say what you are experiencing and what you need the person to do in 2 to 3 sentences, there you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some long drawn out thing. 2 to 3 sentences.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're going to advocate for yourself with another person, like don't make it long because they've already shut off. Kind of like this video.
Praise
If it
the Lord.
goes on any
Praise the
longer,
Lord. There you go. So
people are
listen,
going to shut down.
I want to say for our next few episodes that we should look at letting go. I don't know if you saw that um, post on our Facebook page, guys. If you haven't liked SheKings on Facebook and Instagram, please go and like us. We'll leave links in the comments, um, in the show notes. But someone asked about one of our posts where we said, some things just need to be let go, and the person was asking about if that's even possible. And
Yeah.
so there's so much to say about letting go that we should put together a series. We'll see how long it goes. You guys know Allie and I just do whatever the fuck we want to do. So we'll see how long it goes, but we're going to do a series on letting go and how the fuck to do that. It seems like some things that come into our lives are so big and so overwhelming. Let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Easy peasy. Done and done. So is that a good idea for our
No, I
next
like it. Yeah.
shows?
I
All right.
absolutely like it. Yeah. It's
Cool.
like this whole same thing about the purging, cleaning out your house, all that stuff, just
Yes.
mentally, physically, emotionally. Like it has to be
Yes.
done. It absolutely has to be done. Because if you think about your house and how much you purge, and I mean, there are people who have never done that and then look at the state of their house. So
Mhm.
then take that same concept. If you're still holding on to shit energetically, emotionally, I mean, that's your body. That's what your body looks like, a place, a house that hasn't
Yes.
purged in like 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. In my
And
case,
that
20
is
years. But yeah.
yes. Mhm. Yes.
So yeah,
20.
I'm so new to this.
But yeah, and that's showing up in your joints, that failure to
Hmm.
purge, in your skin, and
Yeah.
dis-ease, and so many, and just fucking anger and rage and frustration that is pent up. It's showing up in your life. And I really want everyone to make it to a point where not only do they know that it's possible to let go, but they start to experience the
Yeah.
letting go of really, really big things that you really never thought you would be able to let go of. So we'll dive into that over the next few episodes, and we are so
Perfect.
excited to do it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So please
All
like
right.
us on Facebook, give us a review on iTunes, and we're working on a website so you can have access to everything that we're offering. We're going to be offering a lot more, like Erica said, like beauty tips and yoga and everything that we do in our daily lives. So super excited.
Yes.
So thanks for tuning in to She Kings for peasants who don't want to live shitty lives. And we will see you guys next week. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you
All
guys
right.
so much.
Bye.
Peace.